What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to another Sanctioned Battle Report. I'm joined today by Sheldon, and you and your buddies come up from Seattle, right? The Seattle area?
From Seattle.
All right, excellent. So another trip to come in here and visit us, which is always great. We love meeting new people, seeing new armies. In just a moment, you're going to see a very, very gorgeous painted Dark Eldar and Eldar army here. So today we're going to be playing an 1850-point game. You have your Eldar Alliance going on, and I will have my Mech kicking around. We've already rolled for mission. We got Deadlock, so we have everything ready to go, ready to deploy. And of course, if you guys ever want to get a game in with us, go to MiniWarGaming.com/challenge. We'd love to hear from you. We look forward to hearing from you. And if you want to get a game in, we're going to do whatever we can to make that a reality. So we're going to go take a look at the armies and the scenario. And remember, we are going to be doing a quick pre-game show as well. So that's where everything's going to go be gone over in detail, basically, on what we each have. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and hit the link for the pre-game show. Otherwise, you're just going to see a quick rundown of what we got and jump right into the game from there. Anyway, let's go take a look at everything. Here is Sheldon's 1850 points of Eldar and Dark Eldar. So just quickly, what do you got?
Got a couple of Razor Wings as the backbone of my army because I love missiles.
Okay. Looks like you got a couple Venoms kicking around as well.
A couple of Venoms and Warriors.
All right. Warp Spiders. Got some, what are these guys called again?
They're Reaver jet bikes.
Okay, Reaver jet bikes going with some of the regular jet bikes from Eldar. You got your little HQ formation there. That's right.
There's a Dark Artisan.
Beautiful. We have an Autarch with a Leman. And then we have a couple more Raiders with Dark Eldar Warriors. Very mobile, lots of shots. Gonna see how it handles against the Admech. My 1850 points of Cult Mechanicus and Admech. So as you can see, I got a unit Skitarii Rangers and Vanguard, both of them with some special weapon. Got the Tech Priest Dominus in the front there. Couple Inquisitors, one Malice, one Xenos. Got some Destroyers, now they're proxy with Plasma Culverins. Got some Breachers, all with heavy arc rifles. 2 units of Sidonian Dragoons, all with the Taser Lances and the Phosphor Serpentas. Castellan Maniple with all the heavy Phosphor Blasters. And 2 units of Onager Doomcrawlers, 1 Icarus Array, 1 Neutron Laser. So we're going to jump into the game and see how these go down. And here's the table we're going to be playing on. So as you can see, it's fancy new terrain, fancy new board. Looking forward to it. We have rolled off for Deadlock, so we have the dice in the middle there as the divider. We've rolled off for table sides. Sheldon has chosen that side over there, so I will be deploying right over here. I'm not quite sure if he meant to give me a nice big 4-up cover save here. And he has opted for me to deploy first. So hopefully he's not going to steal the initiative from me. And we're going to see how everything goes down. So we're going to get everything on the table and jump right into the game. We have the Dark Eldar deployed. So as you can see, there is a Venom with the Autarch, the Raiders, some more Venoms, some bikes, another Radar, all deployed in his corner with the Scorpions, or not the Scorpions, sorry, the Warp Spiders hiding out over on the flank here. Across the way, we have the Admech, who have done their scout movements for the redeployments for the Skitarii. So the Dragoons have moved up, the Rangers have moved, or the Vanguard, sorry. We have the rest of the bulky forces in the back there. Doomcrawlers sitting on a couple objectives. Then my core there with the Castellan Maniple and the Destroyers behind them. Just sort of in the middle there. So, I did deploy first. So Sheldon does have the opportunity to steal the initiative, which I assume you're going to try to do.
We're going to try.
Alright, throw that D6 down. Let's find out what happens. That's definitely cocked. Go ahead. Oh!
Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay. That's okay. We can deal with this. So Sheldon has stolen the initiative. So we're going to go into turn 1 for the Dark Eldar. So for the mission Deadlock, we start off with 6 objectives. So go ahead and start drawing. We have no prisoners, so completely destroy a unit. What else we got? Secure objective 1. Secure objective 3. Hold the line, keep some of your units back. Well, you have the range to do it.
You can do that.
Secure objective 6. And the last one, secure objective 6.
That's a new see.
So we have objective 1 being held by the Skitarii. We have objective 3 being held by the Doomcrawler. However, objective number 6 is conveniently being held by the Mandrakes. So that's going to be 2 easy points for you right off the bat. as we jump into the Dark Eldar movement phase. Starting with some of the jet bikes, moving up, taking objective number 2. Not that it's important yet, but you are going to identify it, which means for future recon objectives, that's going to be important. Both bikes just getting a little bit closer, getting a whole bunch of things into range. So objective number 2 will be forward. Oh, geez, that's what you need. Rerolling 1s in the shooting phase. So that is a targeting relay. Mandrakes are probably going to sit still, so we'll identify that objective. Number 6, Grav Wave Generator, so it's going to be harder to charge them. 1 Ravager just moving out a little bit. This Raider just going to readjust a little bit. Reavers moving forward. Just making sure you're getting all your stuff into position. Warp Spider's going to do a warp jump. And we got 7 inches.
That's a good total.
13 inches total. Getting them nice and close to all my Vanguard over here. Ooh. So we're going to have some dangerous terrain checks. Couple tests to make. So the 2 regular guys. Ooh, there's 1 test that needs to be made.
He's okay.
Alright, and the Exarch is fine. Venom with the Autarch. To wrap up the movement phase, he's just going to reposition. And that'll bring us to the end of the movement phase. Everything is repositioned, getting ready for future turns. We're going to jump into the shooting phase. To kick off the shooting phase, we're going to have the Ravager and its 3 Dark Lances. Are these twin-linked?
They're not twin-linked.
Okay. So 3 Ravager Dark Lances into the 2 Sidonian Dragoons over here. So 3 shots, going to be hitting on 3s. I do have my 5-up cover save from my Incense Cloud. And I don't think anything else. Nah, they're definitely not covered enough for anything more than that. So go ahead.
Here we go.
2 hits. 2 hits. Strength 8, armor 11.
Looking for 3s.
Ooh, that one. What do you think? Yeah,
I'll
okay.
roll it.
You sure?
There we go.
Oh, okay, I was going to leave you. I was going to let you have it, but...
For the steal.
Okay. So we're going to have 1 penetrating hit here. I do have a 5-up cover save against this. What do you think? Cocked or not?
Cocked.
Cocked? Okay. Okay, so there we go. 4 will not save it. So why don't you roll that d6, find out what's happening. These guys are open-topped.
AP 2, so 4.
So that is going to be a stunned result. That's not good for him. So the lead one is down 1 hull point and stunned. Dark Lance from the Raider firing across the table into the Onager Doomcrawler with the Icarus Array. You want to try and take that down before it can do damage. So hitting on 3. That will definitely hit. And in armor 12, so looking for a 4.
4.
Nothing. First jet bike unit firing at the Icarus Array. Rerolling 1s because of the targeting nexus. So go for it.
3s.
Oh, not a single 1. But you know what? You still got a decent amount of hits. Looking for those 6s. And
Not a 1.
Nothing. Geez, statistically speaking, you should have seen at least 1 there. Other unit of bikes going to be firing at the same target. So once again, 12 shots hitting on 3s. Ooh.
They should have had the targeting relay.
Yeah, they would have really benefited from that. And once again, looking for those 6s. 1 6, but in cover. Gonna have to find out just how good of cover that is, because he is in the ruins. So checking out the angle, he definitely has his 4-up cover save from that. So let's see if he can avoid that glancing hit. He does not. So 1 hull point taken off the Onager Doomcrawler. 2 hull points remaining. This Venom gonna fire across the way into the Castellan Maniple, hoping to put some hurt on them before too late. So these are all hitting on 3s. Go for it. Oh no. And let's see how many of those actually wound. What strength is this?
Poison.
Oh, it's poison, so yeah, we don't care. So on 4s. 3 wounds. I have 3-up saves. Now, hopefully I don't roll any 6s here because they will reflect shots back. 1 6 and 2 regular saves. So that means the Venom is going to be taking 1 strength 4 hit. And it's...
well, it's poison strength X.
Oh, it's strength X. Okay. So upon reviewing the rules, it's actually a strength 1. So even with a roll of a 6, you know, I'm not going to be doing anything to that Venom. So no worries on the reflected shot there. Warp Spider is going to use some battle focus to try and get into range of the Sidonian Dragoons or Vanguard, whatever they want to shoot at. So go ahead and roll that run move. That's definitely cocked.
Oh, I'd fleet it 2 anyways.
Oh, okay, so 6 inches. So that is definitely going to get them within range of, well, pretty much whatever they want to shoot at. Warp Spider's going to fire into the Dragoons, all within range, so 10 shots. So once you start with the ones hitting on 3s.
Hit on 3s.
Oh, well, not terrible, I guess, but still. A couple more hits would have been great. Strength 6 against Armor 11, so needing 5s to glance. Oh, nuts. Well, maybe the X-Arc will do a little bit better. So 2 shots hitting on 2s. That's, that still looked cocked to me. So go ahead and re-roll that one. There we go. So yeah, this board, if you guys can't tell, there's a lot of little divots. So we're getting a lot of cocked dice. We're experimenting with it. So 2 hits. Again, looking for those 5s. 1 penetrating hit. I do have a 5-up cover save from Incense Cloud, which I will make. So unfortunately, no damage going through onto the Dragoons. At the end of the shooting phase, going to turbo boost some bikes. Just going to go up and take objective number 4. And let's find out what the mysterious objective is. 3, Skyfire Nexus. So it doesn't help you, but if I can get over there, that'll definitely help me. Jetpack move on the Warp Spiders. Ooh, that could have been a little bit better. And just going to move them back a little bit. Try and get out of a real threat range. So that's going to bring us to the end of the shooting phase. No assaults to be made. And Sheldon is going to pass the churn. So he was able to grab a couple objectives. Obviously objective number 6, which is Mandrakes are sitting on, worth quite a bit. 2 points right there. And he was also able to get, excuse me, hold the line. So he is looking currently at 3 points total. Now, unfortunately, he wasn't able to get objective 1 or 3, and no prisoners did elude him. Would you like to discard any of your objectives?
Not this time.
Gonna hold on to them? Alright. So, that going into the end of this first turn for the Dark Eldar, we're looking at 3-0. Let's see if the AdMech can pick up a couple points of their own. At the start of the AdMech turn, we're going to see 6 objectives. Secure objective 2. Secure objective 1. Demolitions. Let's get rid of that. There's no fortifications. Hungry for glory. Got to issue a challenge. Domination. Everyone's favorite objective. Witch Hunter. Do you have any psychers?
No psychers.
So we ditched that. Supremacy. And study the machines of the foe. So objective 2 is firmly in control of the Eldar forces right now, so that one's going to be a tricky one for me to get to. However, objective number 1 does happen to be held by my Vanguard, so that's going to be an easy point for me. And for my Doctrine Imperative, I'm going to nominate Weapon Skill +1, Ballistic Skill -0. Wait, what's the weapon skill of your Warp Spiders over here?
4.
4? Okay, yeah, so Weapon Skill +1 then will be fine for me. And I'm going to use Shroud Psalm for my Canticle of the Omnissiah, just so I can get a little bit closer to your raiders and whatnot with a cover save. So all my Cult Mechanicus units will have Shrouded this turn. Going to start with the Iron Striders, and they're just going to move forward 9 inches. Drastically changing my game plan because of where all this terrain is. The Destroyers with the Plasma Culverins going to move forward 6 inches. Castellan Maniple going to move through difficult terrain. They are monstrous creatures, so they do have that special ability for a total of 5 inches. Taking them out, for the most part, over the barricade. There's going to be one sort of still stuck on it, like so. And everyone else just going to have to walk over it next turn. Vanguard, going to move through difficult terrain, and they're going to get a total of 4 inches. It's going to get a couple guys within 6 inches of your Warp Spiders, which, might be a silly idea to try and charge them, but, I'm looking for some points. And these Dune Striders just going to move forward their 9 inches. Just provide a little bit of backup. The Breachers with heavy arc rifles moving through difficult terrain, getting a total of 6 inches. And that is going to be enough for them to hold on to objective 5 in the event that the Rangers get too far, or the Vanguard get too far ahead. And before we get too far ahead, got to make sure we get some mysterious objectives. So number 1 will be Skyfire Nexus. Ooh, that's actually kind of good for me. Over here, number 3 will be, Scatterfield. That's going to make him a tough one to shift, because he's now sitting on a 3-up cover save. And lastly, objective number 5, which will also be a Scatterfield generator. So that's going to be a 4-up cover save kicking around there now. So not too shabby. And I think that's going to end my movement phase. So I'm going to jump into the psychic phase. I'll have 2 warp charges plus d6. How many do I have to play with? That's off the table. 4. So I'll have a total of 6 warp charges, and Sheldon's going to have 4 to try and stop me. Going to throw 3 dice into casting Prescience. You know what? 4 dice to cast Prescience on the Castellan Maniple here. And hope for the best. Oh, nope. No successes there. I'll use my last 2 dice to cast the Forewarning onto the Castellan Maniple, just to give him a 4-up invulnerable save against all your Dark Lances. I will succeed with 1. So go ahead and try and deny that. You got 4 dice to do so.
It goes.
It goes off. So the Castellan Maniple now has a 4-up invulnerable save. Moving into the shooting phase, going to start with the Icarus Array, and he's going to fire across the way into this Raider. Going to start with the Gatling Missile Launcher. These are the 5 shots that do happen to ignore cover and Skyfire, so I mean, it's a skimmer, so I'm going to be able to fire it normally. And it is the Strength 6 AP4 shots. And these will all be hitting on 3s. 4 hits. Looking for 4s to glance. Not a single one. Alright. Next up, we're going to try our luck with the autocannon. So 2 twin link shots. Both are going to hit. Are you jinking, by the way?
Oh, I'm jinking.
Yeah, he's going to jink at this point. Alright, well that's 1 snap firing Dark Lance for me. Looking for 3s to glance. 2 pens. 3 up jink. You're fine. Lastly, I have the Daedalus Missile Launcher hitting on a 3, which will hit. Looking for a 3 to glance. That will pen, but once again, we have a 3-up cover save from jinking, which you will make easily. Next up, I'll fire the Heavy Neutron Laser into this unit of bikes right here. It is a Strength 10 AP2. Would you like to jink?
Oh, I'd definitely like to jink that.
Alright, so a direct hit will hit all 3. So let's see where it's going. Oh, that's scattering way off, and that's going to hit nothing. Next up, we'll do the Cognus Heavy Stubber hitting on 3s. 3 hits. And this is Strength 4, so wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. 3 up saves against this. Oh! First jet bite goes down, and that will be a morale check on them. 2 of the breachers are able to see the jinking Raider over here, so they're going to try their luck and take him down a peg or 2. So these are hitting on 4s. 3 hits, and looking to see what they do. We have 1 pen, 1 glance. Glance first, 3 up cover save. And now the pen. And you're fine. These 3 Dune Striders, not Dune Striders, Iron Striders are going to fire their Phosphorus Serpentas into the Warp Spiders, looking to get their Luminogen rule off. And that'll be 3 hits. And 2 wounds, 3 up armor save against this though. Oh no! 2 go down, putting the Luminogen rule on them, which means any charged attempts are going to be re-rollable now. Next up, I'll fire my 2 Transuranic Arquebuses into this unit of jet bikes right there. This is a Sniper AP3 shot with precision fire. Would you like to jink?
Oh yeah, we'll jink.
Okay. So, hitting on 3s. Miss. That's an unfortunate jink to make. Over here, gonna fire 2 Phosphor Serpentas into your Ravager bikes? Yeah. Reaver bikes, okay. So hitting on 3s. 2 hits.
They will definitely jink.
Okay. And these will be wounding on 4. Oh wait, strength 5 against toughness 4. So wounding on 3s. No wounds, but they have jinked. 1 Destroyer's Plasma Culverin is within range and line of sight of the Mandrake, so he's gonna attempt that. First we have some Gets Hots. Neither of them getting hot. Direct hit will hit all 3 of them. So first one, that is going to scatter off 7 inches. It might actually hit the Reavers. Huh. Nope, it's going to hit nothing. And then the second one will be a direct hit. So 3 hits against the Mandrakes. Wounding on 2s, but you do have Stealth Enshrouded and in Ruin, so you have a 2-up cover save against this. 3 wounds. Alright, just don't roll any 1s. There you go. They are fine. Gonna fire the Castellan Maniple. Also just gonna make a quick note. In the in the pre-game show and the introduction, I actually know there was 4 of them. I went back and I double-checked the list. There's actually only 3 Castellans in the Maniple, not 4. So that is why you're seeing less right now. They're going to fire across into the Ravager. Would you like to jink?
Which will definitely jink.
All right, beautiful. The more of your stuff I can make jink, the longer I can survive. Starting with the Twin Link shots. These are hitting on 4s, re-rolling. So, not a terrible start, but could have been a little bit better. But that's what the re-roll is for. There we go. 5s to glance. Oh, 2 glance, 2 pen. But you do have your, I assume you bought the better cover save?
Nope.
Oh, so it's only a 4-up cover save.
Only a 4-up. So
take the glances first, I guess. 1 glance goes through, so it's down to 2 hull points. And now the pens. Okay, so you only took a glancing hit, down to 1 remaining, but there is still a bunch more coming in. The real bad news comes from the fact that they have the Lumidigen special rule, so his cover save is now reduced by 1. The non-Twin Link shots. Oh, well, there you go. The non-Twin Link shots aren't really doing much of anything. And needing 5s again. 1 more penetrating hit going through. 5-up cover save against this. Oh, so that is going to go through. Open top, so adding 1 to this. Looking for... Oh, I'm actually happy with almost any result. Oh, kaboom! So that will... excuse me, that will cause an explosion. And it will be 5 inches out. So not sure if it's going to hit anything else. No, that Raider's just out. Venom is just out. And the Mandrakes are just out. But that is first blood. And that is your 3 Dark Lances down. So that's actually kind of a big loss for you so far. So good win for the Admech there. That's going to take us to the end of the shooting phase. Mostly because I don't want to fire these Vanguard just yet. I want to try and get in there and actually issue a challenge for a point. But good turn of shooting for the Admech. They were able to jink quite a few of the Dark Eldar and Eldar's forces. That's going to really hamper their turn too. We do have a couple morale checks to make. So let's start with the bikes over here. The jet bike. What's your leadership?
Leadership 8.
Okay. Oh no! Oh, that is not good. And they are going to run 9 inches. I think...
That's going to...
They're okay. They're just barely okay. And they will get a chance to rally next turn. And the Warp Spiders at Leadership 9. They're fine. So they're going to stick around. That's going to take us into the assault phase. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to assault with the Iron Striders here to soak up the Overwatch. Would you like to Overwatch against them?
Oh yeah.
Alright, so you got 6 shots hitting on 6s. Nothing from them. So the Iron Striders will charge in. Yeah, they're definitely making it in once you add +3 to that. So in they go. Next up will be the Vanguard squad going to charge in. They're needing a 6-inch charge, but through difficult terrain, so they're looking at 8s. But Lumidigen did get off, so they get to re-roll this. But with 11 inches, that is enough to make it, get them in, and get me an opportunity to challenge. And a whole bunch of them getting in with that 11-inch charge. And these Dragoons are going to try a long charge against the against your Reavers here, so they will get to Overwatch. So what do they have?
They have Splinter Rifles, so it's Strength 1, and it won't touch them.
Oh, you can't actually hurt them. Okay. So they're 11 inches away through difficult terrain, so I actually need a 13-inch charge. Now they do have Dune Strider, which gives them +3, so I'm still looking at 10, I believe? Yeah, you know, I'll roll the dice and then I'll do the math. Oh!
Oh, they're there.
Even without Dune Strider, they make it in. This is not a good day for the Eldar, it looks like. And you know what, guys? I just realized, because I scouted, none of those charges I actually attempted to make are legal charges. So we're just going to go and take them all back, even though I'm sure there's already a bunch of angry comments already there. But you know what? At least we're catching it, and we're moving them back, and we're getting them out of the way here. And it does mean that the Admech...
That'd be fine. I missed all the Overwatch against them, and it would have just went against them.
Well, they scouted as well.
Oh.
Yeah, all of them scouted. So gotta take it back, and I'll try and get their positions as close to where they were as possible. So there we go. Tried to return them as best I could to where they were. So none of those charges were valid charges, so those are corrected. So I actually have no assault phase this turn, which is probably a good thing for Sheldon, and means we're actually going to have a much more interesting game, considering how many charges I actually made there. So that will end my turn. I did grab a couple objectives. I was able to sit on objective number 1, which was a big deal for me. I was also able to get supremacy, so that's going to be worth D3 points. But I was not able to get domination, objective 2, hungry for glory, or the study the machines of the foe, because I actually exploded that guy instead of just wrecking him. So let's see how many points supremacy is going to give me. An extra 2 points. And that was first blood, so that will actually put me up to 4 points for turn 1 to Sheldon's 3. So it's still a very close game, and the Dark Eldar have a chance to fight back. I'm also going to ditch domination. That's a terrible objective. I hate it. At the start of Sheldon's turn 2, he's going to draw 2 more objectives. What do we got? Recon. So there's an easy point for you, because everything has been identified. And what else? Secure objective 2. In addition, we have a couple of reserves to make, so the 2, what are these, Hemlocks?
Razor Wings.
Razor Wings, that's right. Hemlocks are the Eldar ones. So coming in on 3+.
2+, Autark.
Oh, okay, your Autark does that for you. So they are both in. Even without the Autark, they would have both been in. And now we have your Talos with, what's that guy called again?
The Homunculus.
The Homunculus coming in on a 2+ through a webway portal. Alright, so all your reserves are coming on. Using the webway portal, we have a scatterless deep strike happening with the Homunculus and 2 Talos paint engines. So my only saving grace here is that they can't charge this turn. But it does mean I will have to turn around and deal with these guys.
Yeah, it's a Talos and a Cronus.
Oh, sorry, Talos and a Kronos. Okay, you got 2 different paint engines there. One of the Razor Wings going to come blasting on and support this flank over here against the Admech. And the second Razor Wing, where's that going to go? Coming on as a flyer, so it's got to go at least 18 inches. So just pick a weird angle, and you'll be fine.
Try this.
The reserves are in. We have a regroup to make, so this is Leadership 8?
Leadership 8.
Okay. I'll give it to you. So they will regroup. So they got their 3-inch regroup movement. I'm just going to readdress a little bit. Warp Spiders, just going to jump and reposition. This Raider is just going to move forward and grab an objective, staying off the dangerous or the difficult terrain there. Moving the Venoms up to get them into range with all their guns. Because at this point you got to bring everything that's not snap firing to bear as best you can. The Venom with the Autark is just going to skitter around. This Raider repositioning, going to force me to deal with it. Just moving nice and close. Reaver jet bikes, going to jump forward or zoom forward. Get nice and close to the Sidonian Dragoons, maybe cause them to regret their impudence for scouting and not charging. And the Eldar bikes just going to wrap around the building and add some support.
Keep that locked down.
Alright, Mandrake's staying still, locking him down as he said. And that will take us to the end of the movement phase. So I do have some Interceptor that I'm going to declare. And I guess what I'll do is I'll declare... I guess this front one as the guy I'll be firing at with the Icarus array. So a Jink has been declared. I'm going to start with the Gatling missile launcher and hope for the best. So 4 hits right off the bat. Looking for 4s to glance the jet fighter here. 2 penetrating hits, ignoring the cover. So that is not a good sign for the jet fighter. Does he have any invulnerable saves or anything?
Nothing like that.
Alright, let's find out what happens. We are looking at 6 and 3, so it has become immobilized while zooming, which could possibly result in a crash and burn. 1 or 2 and it will crash and burn. Oh no! So let's go grab the scatter die and see where it goes. Let's find out where it's going to scatter to. I think you actually got a decent scatter there, because it looks like it might scatter right onto my fellas. And unfortunately it's going to scatter right to there, blowing itself up. So, thankfully I will not have a burning carcass of a plane on me, but that is 1 less Razor Wing that the Dark Eldar have access to. And as for the Icarus array now, we're not entirely sure how this goes down because it's 1 entry but it's 3 different weapons. We're going to err on the side of caution and assume that because I fired the array in the Interceptor as an Interceptor weapon, I don't get to fire it in my shooting phase, even though I only fired one of the weapon profiles. So if anyone has a compelling argument against that, I'd love to hear it. But for this battle report, I think that's the best way for us to deal with it, because we can't really find a clear or definitive answer at the moment. Moving into the shooting phase, we're going to start with the Razor Wing Fighter, going into the Vanguard. Going to center the missiles right here, and you're just firing the 4 missiles this turn?
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead, start with the first one. That is going to be a direct hit. So far we're looking at, it looks like 6, 7 hits. And the next missile, looking for some more direct hits here. Oh, 14. Missile number 3. Oh, good grief, 21. Can you do that one more time?
It's your scatter dice.
Oh, good grief. 28 hits from 4 missiles. I think these guys might be in big trouble. I think they might go to ground depending on how many wounds you actually caught. Well, no, it doesn't matter. It's a 4-up save regardless. So, yeah, let's see if they can actually make it through. 28 missiles hitting that unit, so go ahead and throw them down. This is strength 5?
Strength 6.
Strength 6, okay, so no feel, no pain for me. So on 2s. That is a very good roll, because I'm only seeing 3 1s, wow, which means 25 saves. So my unit's going to go to ground, because I do have Shroud Psalm up. They're sitting on a scatter field, and they're behind 5-up cover to begin with. So that's going to give them a 3-up cover save. So first 10. So 1 dead so far. So the next, so now we're going to do 9. So this puts us up to 19. Come on, dice. And there is going to be 2 more dead. So all that's left, I believe, is 9 left. So let's see if I can make those last bunches of cover saves here. And try and keep this unit alive. And so a total of 4 guys will go down. Losing 4 of them, that is still going to be a morale check, which is, and they have gone to ground. So either way, you are taking them out of the fight for a turn, which is not the greatest thing with a couple big monstrous creatures hanging out behind me. So we're going to see what the rest of the shooting phase comes to bring. Moving on to this Jinking Raider. So it's going to be snapfiring its Dark Lance. And where's he going? Into the Castellans?
Go to the Castellans.
Alright, so 1 Jinking Dark Lance shot on a 6. That will miss. But you are on that objective right there, which allows you to reroll 1s.
Oh, good call.
So go ahead and reroll that. Still a miss. But you do have all the warriors inside that can get some shots off. How many of those?
It's going to be 8 shots, each one linked with the Splinter Axe.
Beautiful. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s.
And 2s for Splinter Axe.
Oh, that's right, you got full reroll. There we go, 8 hits. Wounded on 4s because of poison. Not too shabby. 5 3-up saves to make here. Any 6s will reflect shots back, if that even matters. Because I think they're all strength 1, aren't they? Yeah. So 1 wound will go through. Feel no pain for the Aegis protocol, which will feel the pain. So 1 wound being placed on that front Castellan. Now we enter into an interesting conundrum here. 1 shot was in fact reflected back. Now would it hit the transport holding the guys, or would it hit the unit? My personal thoughts, because you're in a transport, would be that it would hit the transport. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it hit the guy.
You think it's going to hit the guy? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's roll off. 4, 5, 6, it will hit the guy. 1, 2, 3, it'll hit the transport. So go for it. So 3. So it's going to hit the transport. That's how we'll treat it for the rest of the game in these sort of situations. But if anyone has a compelling argument for that one, definitely would love to hear it, because that is definitely an interesting situation that's popped up. Moving on to a Venom. Going to fire into the Castellan Maniple, just hoping to put as many wounds on them as humanly possible. So Venom, are you just firing both Venoms?
This is just 1 right now.
It's got all that shots for just 1?
Yep.
Good grief.
Shots.
Alright, go to town. So hitting on 3s. Good chunk of hits. Wounded on 4s. Oh, did not quite make the wounds. 3-up saves. And, oh, wow, all 5s. Yahtzee! So they will make all the saves. Other Venom, going to do the exact same thing into the Castellan. So once again, on 3s. And on 4s. 2 wounds going through, 3-up saves. What do you think, cocked or not?
That's cocked.
You think that's cocked? Okay. There we go. 2 saves are made.
I'm like
The non-jinking Raider is going to fire into the Castellans as well. So we have 8 shots at hitting on 3s. Not terrible. Splinter Rack rerolls, unfortunately, not adding any more hits. On 4s. 3 wounds. Okay, so 3 up saves. And cocked or not?
I will call it cocked.
You're going to call it cocked? Okay. So 2 saves so far, and feel no pain. He felt that one, so a wound on the lead Castellan over here. Dark Lance up next. On a 3. That's going to hit. And wounding on a, is this?
Strength 8.
Strength 8, so on a 3. That will wound, and I have a 5 up invulnerable save against this. Which I will make. At least it wasn't a 6 though, right?
Oh,
This Venom going to fire into the Castellans. Really wanting to take them out, so 12 more shots. On 3s. Not too bad. 4s to wound. Alright, I'd call that one cocked right there, so go ahead and reroll that guy. Okay, 6. 3 up armor saves. So that's going to be 2 feel no pains required. Oh, 1 Castellan will go down. And 3 saves are successful, but as we've already established, that strength 1's not hurting the Venom at all. But you have killed a Castellan, which is actually kind of a big deal. Last bit of shooting, the Warp Spider's going to fire into the Sidonian Dragoons. Alright, so 6 shots, 4 of which hitting on 3s. Ooh, only 1 hit. 5 to glance. That will pen. Now, between the Incense Cloud and Shrouded, I do have a 3 up cover save against this, which I will fail. So go ahead and roll your penetrating hit. This is +1. So 3, so it's going to be, one of them is going to be stunned. As soon as I said that, I realized that you actually stunned one of these walkers in my turn. So he would actually be stuck all the way back here at Abandoned by the, by this guy right here. So we're going to look into that right now, and we're going to find out what sort of effect that's going to have. So even with him being left behind, they're still within 4-inch coherency, thankfully because of the size of the bases there. So at the very least, he's not going to be left behind and destroyed as a result. But that was a bit of a gaffe that we should have caught a little bit earlier. Thankfully, they really failed to do anything. They caused no wounds with their Phosphorus Serpentas, and they weren't able to get that charge off. But just got to be more mindful, make sure we don't make a mistake like that in the future. Back to the Warp Spiders. Exarch's going to hit on 2s. 1 hit, and he's looking for a 5 to glance. Nothing. Dark Artisan Formation's going to fire into my Breachers. So these are going to be hitting on 3s, I assume?
Hitting on 4s, twin linked on these.
4s and twin linked. Okay, these are strength and AP.
Strength 1, poison 4,
okay.
AP 5.
Alright, excellent. So let's see it. And reroll those 2 3s. There we go, they're all hidden. Wounded on a 4. 3 wounds. 3 up armor saves. And I will make all 3 of them. I'm getting a lot of 5s today. That's crazy. And a pistol shot hitting on a 3. Which will definitely hit. And what's the strength of this? Poison?
Poison 4.
Of course it's poison. That will wound. 3 up save. And another save. And in the shooting phase, these bikes are going to turbo boost.
Turbo boost.
Yeah, and we've already checked the measurements and whatnot. And they're basically running over here because they are objective secured. And they're going to just get right to the wall and hold objective number 1. Stealing it out from under my, my Doomcrawler there. And that will take us into the assault phase. To start us off, the Warp Spiders, where are they going?
They're going to jump probably back here.
Try to get out of range of the Dragoons. Oh, they just don't want to go anywhere this game, do they? I'm just moving a little bit over. And declaring an assault over here.
Over here.
Alright, I got a little bit of Overwatch, dude. 2 Phosphorus Serpentas shots. Hitting on 6s. 1 hit. Alright. Wounding on a 4. Or sorry, on a strength 5. So wounding on a 3, actually. That definitely looks cocked to me.
Yep.
Yeah. So 1. Nothing's going to happen. You're going to assault in. I think as long as you roll 3 inches, you're probably fine. 5. I believe you're okay, but it might be tight enough to worth measuring. 5 inches is definitely enough to get in, so there's going to be a lot of impact hits coming down. Starting with the Hammer of Wrath, why don't you do the D6 strength 6 ones first?
Alright, so how many did we get?
4. Looking for 5s to glance. Oh!
Ooh.
Oh, well. Okay then. So that is enough to kill here. And will the Hammer of Wrath transfer into the guy not in base?
It's another conundrum we've discovered.
You know, I'm going to make a snap decision, and I'm going to say it probably will. So having 2 more Hammer of Wrath there, that is enough to take him out. And you had order of operations. Did you want me to take the glances or the pens first?
Do the glances.
Glances first, so the pens would go over here. So roll your penetrating hits. Okay, no explosions at the very least, but yeah, there you go. Able to take down 2 Sidonian Dragoons just with your Hammer of Wrath. So, not a bad little charge right there. Your Hammer of Wrath came in and just wrecked my Dragoons, which is, it creates some difficulties for this flank over here. I'm not entirely sure what to do now. And before I forget, there was a morale check that needed to be made at the end of the shooting phase. Got to see if the Inquisitor and Warlord and his Vanguard stick around. Thankfully, they do. And that will take us to the end of the Dark Eldar churn. So you were able to get a couple objectives. You stole objective number 1 from me, so that's going to be a point right there. Well, not stole, but took it. And you're sitting on objective number 2, so that's another point. Recon is achieved because everything has been discovered. No prisoners has been achieved as well because you were able to take out the full Sidonian Dragoon squad over there. So actually not a bad churn for you.
Oh.
You picked up 4 of your 5 objectives right there.
Oh, I got number 3, not number 1.
Yeah, number 3, not number 1. So not too bad. In one churn, you actually brought yourself up to 7 points, I believe. Up from 3. So not bad. So let's see what happens as the AdMech go into their turn 2. At the start of AdMech turn 2, going to draw 2 more objectives. Secure objective 3 and secure objective 3. Well, I think I got to kill me some jet bikes. And as a refresher, there's objective number 3 right there being held by those jet bikes. And objective number 2, which I'm still holding on to, is right there. I'm probably not going to be getting that anytime soon. At the start of my turn, my Doctrine Imperative, I'm going to... Oh, actually, for my Doctrine Imperative, I'm not sure. I know my Canticle, I'm going to do Benediction of the Omniscient, so I'm going to reroll 1s and 2s in the shooting phase. And for my Doctrine Imperative, I'm going to raise my Ballistic skill by 1. In the movement phase, I'm going to start with the Rangers. They're going to move through difficult terrain. They're going to get 5 inches, and basically what they're going to do is sort of wrap around the corner here just so they can get as many shots into this formation that has been so conveniently placed next to me. Destroyer's just going to move up a little bit just to get things out of, try and reduce as many cover saves as I can. Castellan Maniple going to move through difficult terrain, grabbing 5 inches. And I got to deal with these guys over here because objective 3 is worth a good chunk of points for me. And I want it. The Sidonian Dragoons that can move are just going to wrap around. And I think at this point I'm probably giving up Hungry for Glory. So, because they're probably just going to try and charge in. Probably not going to shoot because I don't want them getting away. These guys get back up from having gone to ground. Both Doomcrawlers are actually going to stay exactly where they are. And same with these Breachers here are going to stay where they are. And that will take us into the Psychic phase, so I'll have 2 plus d6 for a total of 3. I'm going to throw 3 dice and try and cast Prescience on the Vanguard squad. Since they're snap firing, having that reroll might be useful. Nope, not to be. In the shooting phase, I'm going to start with the Onager Doomcrawler and his neutron laser. And he's just going to fire it right there, hopefully getting a direct hit. Let's see where it goes. That's going to be a direct hit, so 3 strength 10 hits against that unit. So let's see how many wounds I can do against this. Only 2 wounds, and you are still going to get your feel no pain because of toughness 7 against strength 10. So 5 up.
It's actually 4 up with the Cronus.
Yo, nuts.
And re-rolling 1s.
Oh, so 1 wound will go through.
The Warlord, his Warlord trait is
Yeah.
instantly...
Your Warlord trait is what gives them the better feel no pain? Or the reroll?
1s. This guy gives them +1.
Okay. Oh, fantastic. Well, I still got a Heavy Stubber coming your way. So, Heavy Stubber, that's going to be 2 hits, no wounds. Going to snapfire the Vanguard squad into the this formation right here. So hitting on 6s, 2 hits, and looking for 6s to wound. Oh, so not only is that 2 wounds, but because of the rad rule, that's going to be extra wounds as well. So that's going to be 4 wounds total against that formation. So 3 up save. Uh-oh. Followed by 2 feel no pains. Oh, 1 more wound goes through. So he is down to 1 wound remaining. The arc rifle firing rapid fire into him. Nothing. Volkite Blaster is up next. That will hit, and it's going to wound on a 6. No wound. And I thought I kept him with the Macro Stubber, but apparently I actually bought him the Phosphor Serpenta for the Warlord, so he's going to try that now as well. So that is not going to hit either. And lastly, a Bolt Pistol, which will hit. No wound. Moving on to the Rangers, they're going to fire into this squad as well. Going to start with the Transuranic Arquebuses. So these are going to be hitting on 2s. Both are going to hit. One actually is a precision shot as well. No, you know, I got to take out the big engines anyway, so that I'm going to put them on the closest regardless. So wounding on 4s. 1 wound, and it is AP3, so you have your Feel No Pain against this.
1 4-up Feel No Pain.
No! So the melee, is that the Talos?
The Talos.
The Talos pain engine goes down. And rapid firing all the galvanic rifles into that unit now, hitting on 2s. Yeah, that's all hitting. And looking for 6s. Only 2 6s. So 2 wounds. Are you going to try and look answer those?
Yeah, look out for those.
Alright, so 2+. Oh, so he will take 1, so Feel No Pain on him.
4+, rerolling 1s.
Definitely reroll that. So that's fine there. And on the the other big engine itself, so 3-up armor save. Definitely reroll that.
Reroll that.
Yeah, that's cocked. Okay, and a Feel No Pain.
Rerolling 1s.
Oh, that's right. Well, still Feel No Pain now.
No pain. Rerolling 1.
Wow, 1, 1, 1. So no matter how we shake that down, that was a 3 1s, and that is going to be a wound on this engine here. As much as I like to keep putting firepower into that formation, these Haywire heavy arc rifles, they're going to fire into this Raider right here. Would you like to jink?
Oh, it's going to jink.
All right. So hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s and 2s. So 3 hits so far, 5 hits total. Any 2+ is what I'm looking for. So we have 4 glances and 1 pen. So why don't you take the cover saves for the glances first? So these are, there's one more here. So these are 3-up, correct?
3-up jink.
Okay. So 1 glance goes through and the 1 penetrating hit now. 3-up, and you're fine. So it's only going to take 1 hull point. Moving on over here, the Castellan Maniple going to fire into these jet bikes. Will you be jinking?
That's AP4?
AP3.
Oh, yes.
You'll jink? Okay. So the twin link shots hitting on 4s. So twin linked. Okay, so 5 hits. Wounding on 2s. 5 wounds. 4-up jink save. Actually, no, 3-up jink save because of the scatter field. Sorry, what does the turbo boost do for you?
Oh, nothing actually.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But you're holding the scatter field, so it's going to be a 3-up jink save. So how many?
2 dead.
Just 2, okay. But the Lumigen rule does take effect, and your cover save is going to go back to a 4 for your jink. And the non-twin linked ones, so these ones are going to reroll 1s and 2s for the Benediction of the Omniscience. And there's a 1 there. So 5 hits once again. On 2s. 5 more wounds. This one's now at a 4+. And that is enough to take him out. And I am once again controlling objective number 3. Moving on to the unit of destroyers. They are going to fire their plasma culverins into the unit of bikes there. So gets hot. The first guy is fine. The middle guy is good. And the third guy, oh, 1 gets hot. And he will take a wound.
He's a jink.
So that means only 5 are going to go into, and you're going to jink?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so going to center it right on the middle there. First one will scatter 2 inches, so it's just going to go right about there. So, you know, that's so close, I think we have to measure it. At 2-inch scatter, it's still going to hit 2. Next up, direct hit, so up to 5. And that is going to scatter 3 inches this way, so it's only going to hit 1. So we're up to 6. There's 9, and the last one for another 3, so 12 total. Wounded on 2s. That's a lot of wounds. So 3-up jink due to skilled rider, so you do have a reasonable chance of making a bunch of saves here. And what's their toughness? They're 4 on the bikes,
4.
right? All right, so I'm not.
So I also get a 6-up Feel No Pain.
Ooh. There's still 3 that went through. Okay. All things considered, that's not too bad. So your 6-up Feel No Pain.
Nope.
No, that is enough to take the Reavers out, though. That's going to take me to the end of my shooting phase. For whatever reason, I keep thinking I should have more, but no, that is the end of my shooting phase. So there is no morale checks that need to be made. I'm not going to be firing at the warp spiders because I don't want them using their little jump teleport away thing. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare an assault against these guys. So you can go ahead and roll your Overwatch.
Here we go.
So on 6s. 2 6s. Oh, okay. Last time you did that, you kind of wrecked me.
Strength 6.
1 glancing hit, and I have a 3-up cover save from Shroud Psalm and the Incense Cloud. And I'll take a glancing hit on the front guy there. Thankfully, he's not dead. And there we go. The 2 guys that can move are going to make it in, leaving this final guy sort of stuck back there. At the initiative 10 step, got some Hammer of Wraths at strength 6. Or strength 5, I think, actually. Strength 5, wounding on 2s. 2 wounds. And you have your 3-up armor saves against this.
Oh, 1 down.
1 goes down right off the bat. Now the stun guy is still in coherency, so he's still going to get his attacks, but at -1 of those. So this is, instead of being 12 attacks, it's only going to be 11. And these are going to be hitting on 4s, because I upped the... No, they're weapon skill 4, so hitting on 4s. And this is going to be at strength 8 because of the taser lances. So let's see what happens. So I actually rolled 5 6s there, which is actually going to add an additional 10 hits, because it's an extra 2 wounds per. So this is going to be a total of 20 hits against this at strength 8. So wounding on 2s. Oh, good grief. I think they just absolutely murdered this squad unless you get some bizarrely lucky rolls. 3-up saves. You came so close. You actually failed just enough. So you actually almost got those insanely lucky rolls. But that will kill the warp spiders, allowing the Sidonian Dragoons to consolidate. 5 inches. They're just gonna sort of pop up a little bit, start going over the bridge, but staying in coherency. And that will take me to the end of AdMech turn 2. So I was able to hit some things that needed to be hit, take out a bunch of the bikes and the warp spiders. So AdMech's in a pretty solid position, but there's still some good firepower coming back at me. So let's see what they can do in their turn 3. At the end of my turn, I was able to secure Objective 3 twice for 2 points. I was not able to get Study the Machines of the Foe, Objective 2, or Hungry for Glory. I think I'm actually just going to discard Hungry for Glory, because what are the odds of me getting into a challenge at this point? At least one that I want to be in. At the start of Sheldon's turn 3, he's going to draw 3 more objectives. We have Scour the Skies, get rid of that, I got no flyers. Instead, we will have Secure Objective 4, and Pain in all its forms, and what's the last one? Trophy Hunter. And of course there's Objective 1. Now one of the objectives that you pulled, you have to nominate an objective and a character. And
you do.
Oh, I nominate an objective and a character. Okay, well the character I'm going to nominate is going to be my Data Smith. And I have to nominate the objective as well. Mm-hmm. I will nominate, I guess, I'll go with objective number 3. Make it come to me. Churning 90 degrees. And the Razor Wing is just going to start looking at my destroyers. This Raider, the one that's jinking, just going to move forward 12 inches, because why not? So everything's going to be snap firing. Venom's just going to move forward 6 inches. Now, do they have to do a possible immobilization? Alright, so hopefully no immobilizations there. First Venom is fine. Second Venom is fine. This Raider just going to reposition. Unfortunately not able to get within rapid fire range, but still able to put some pressure onto the AdMech forces. Autar disembarking from the Venom. Huh, what do you have planned going on here?
I'm just going to pull Harlequin shenanigans.
I see. Venom going to hide out right there just so it can continue putting shots into the destroyers or Castellans, whatever it chooses. Mandrakes are going to move though. Where are they going?
I'm going to try to go over here with move through cover.
Okay. 4 inches, so not quite enough to get through there, but enough to get out of the cover at the very least. And Bike's going to go objective hunting. They're going to move 12 inches over top of the building. Last bit of movement. Where are these fellas going?
That's a tough call.
You going to go after objective 1, or are you going to go after Warlord kill?
We're going to go after the Warlord here.
Yeah, makes sense to me. That will take us to the end of the movement phase for the Dark Eldar. We're going to get into the shooting phase, and he's going to try and lay on the hurt. To start us off, the Mandrake's going to try and run towards objective number 4. D6 plus with fleet. 4. You needed 6 inches to get in there, right?
Yep.
So
Try it again.
4 inches, so not quite enough, unfortunately. Taking him about 5 inches out of controlling the objective. So the Autarch with his magical running abilities of 48 inches, which is absolutely bonkers if you ask me, but hilarious at the same time, is just going to run and take objective number 4. Going to start the shooting with the Raider and the contents over here, firing into the Castellan Maniple, and he is within rapid fire range. 16 shots, twin linked, hitting on 6s. So there's 3 so far. Let's see if we can add a couple more there. So 4 total. Wounded on 4s. So 3 wounds with 3 up armor save. And a feel no pain. He felt that one, which will put the front Castellan down to 1 wound remaining. Next up is the Darklands. If he happens to hit with this, that Castellan's in trouble.
Nope.
No, it missed. Venom number 1, firing into the Castellan Maniple. Alright, gonna try and take him out. So 12 shots, hitting on 3s?
Hitting on 3s.
Okay, go for it. Ooh, that was rough. And on 4s. That's definitely cocked. Go ahead and reroll 1. So 2 wounds. 3 up save. Made them both. And run reflected back, but doesn't matter. The 5 guys in the Venom are up next, and they're going to be hitting on 3s.
Yep, only 4 of them are in range.
Oh, okay. And 3 hits. 2 wounds. And I'll make both the saves. Next Venom, firing into the Castellans as well, hoping to try and take out that last wound. Oh, could have been a little bit better. On 4s. Oh, 3 wounds. All right, let's see if the Castellan can continue to make his saves. Oh, 2 feel no pains. Uh-oh. So that will kill the front Castellan and put a wound on the, actually on the Data Smith. Yeah, you know what? He'll take that first wound. Another Venom gonna go into the Castellans, hoping to finish the job he started. So 12 shots, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 4s. Reroll that one there. Okay, so 4 wounds, 3 up armor save, and a 5 up feel no pain. So 1 wound being placed on that Castellan. And this Raider gonna fire everything it's got into the Castellans over here, hopefully taking out the remaining ones. So starting with the guys inside, 8 shots. And did you move 12 inches? No, you...
He went 6.
Yeah, so you're good. You're good. So that's a whole bunch of hits there. Twin linked due to Splinter Act. So 7 hits total. Needing 4s to wound. 2 wounds. 3 up save. I'll make them both. Dark Lance up next into the Castellan, hoping to take him out. That will definitely hit, wounding on a 2. That will definitely wound. I have a 5 up invulnerable save.
We'll come back.
That will be saved. At least it didn't reflect back into the Raider though, right?
Will be a Splinter Rifle.
Razor Wing with the Splinter Rifle and Dark Lances into the Destroyers. So starting with the Dark Lances. 2 hits, wounding on 2s. 2 wounds. And that is just going to be a dead... Oh wait, no, I don't have Shroud Soul, so that's just going to be a dead Destroyer. And the Splinter Cannon.
Rifle.
Oh, Splinter Rifle. That's a weird thing to have on a vehicle. So both are going to hit. And what's the strength?
Poison 4.
Okay, so 1 wound with a 4 up armor save, which I will make. The formation over here, going to fire a pistol into my Inquisitor and squad. So hitting on a 2.
Hitting on a 2.
All right, that will definitely hit. And what's the strength and...
Poison 4+.
Okay, AP?
5.
All right.
Nope.
So no wound. And your jet bike's just going to turbo boost. And once again, take objective number 1 from me. Which is a very important thing because right now points really are important. And that will take us to the end of the shooting phase. We're going to move into the assault phase and see what the Dark Eldar can do. 1 assault to declare over here. I will return fire with an Overwatch and see what I can do. Starting with 15 rad carbine shots, hitting on 6s. There's 3 6s. Looking for 6s to wound. Nothing. Volkite Blaster from the Tech Priest Dominus. That will miss. And then the Phosphor Serpenta, that's what it's called. That one will hit on a 6. No wound. Pistol from the Inquisitor will fail to do anything. And there's very little chance of you failing this charge, in that there is none. So there we go. So he will make it in, and then he will make it in, causing a Hammer of Wrath. And before we forget, I do have to roll a morale check on the destroyers here to see if they run away. No, they're going to stick around. Moving back to this combat before we do anything, fear check. And they just barely passed. And as we jump into this one, before anything else, declaring challenges.
Gonna challenge.
You're going to challenge? Well, I have a little Skitarii guy who's just going to step up and take your challenge. Yay! He's got nothing.
Aww.
So he will do that. And then, yeah, I guess at this point we go to Initiative 10 step. So start with your Hammer of Wrath. That's Strength 5? 6? Strength 5, so wounding on a 2. And a 4-up save. Oh! And that would have been dealt towards the guy in the challenge, but he can't actually take the wound, so it would have been dealt to the him there. So even with his 2-up, he wouldn't have made it. So, but he does have the Feel No Pain, thankfully, which he will still fail. So the Tech Priest Dominus will take a wound. And my Initiative 10 step, I have my Data Spike that's going to go into your big engine there, which will fail to do anything. And at Initiative 5, you're definitely going first. So why don't you do your challenge attacks first? Oh, and before I forget, there is the Rad Saturation rule with the Vanguard, so your toughness is reduced by 1.
Okay.
Starting with the combat, it's going to be hitting on...
Weapon skill 5.
Hitting on 3s, 5 attacks. 3 hits. And is he a power weapon at all, or?
Nope, it's poison 4-up with rend.
Okay. So wounding on 4s. With a rend. Alright, so he's going to take 1 wound no matter what. Feel no pain against that one. He felt it. And now I have a 4-up armor save to keep my Alpha alive. Which he'll make.
Oh, like a boss.
So the Alpha will stay standing. But now you have your Pain Engine about to make his attacks. 4 attacks on the charge. What's his weapon skill?
5 now.
Alright, so hitting on 3s. 4 hits. And he's strength what?
Strength 5.
Strength 5, so on 2s.
2s.
So that's going to be 3 wounds. And he's a monstrous creature, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah. So we are going to look answer these. Yep, they are all looked down. And 6 up Feel No Pains. I will lose 3 more Skitarii. Bam, bam, bam. My turn. Everyone will pile in 3 inches. I don't think it's enough to get everyone into combat, though, which is kind of bad for me. So we're going to start with my Alpha in combat. The Alpha with his 2 attacks hitting on 4s. 1 hit. And his toughness is reduced down to 3, so wounding on a 4. Nothing. And then this Vanguard in the back will hit, and he's going to be wounding on a 6. No wound. My Dominus to step forward with his Power Axe, hopefully taking care of this engine right here. I actually just forgot his Warlord trait for my Dominus is actually allowing him to reroll Feel No Pain, so let's see if he actually negated that wound. No, he's still going to take that wound. And now he's going to attack back, hitting on 4s. Oh, that's not good at all. So, I will lose combat by too much. So, yeah, thankfully I'm stubborn, so let's see if I run away or not. No, I will stay in combat. Everyone is going to pile in. I'm undecided if this is better or worse for me. I really don't know. And that combat will be ongoing. And that will bring us to the end of turn 3 for the Dark Eldar. So he was able to steal objective 3 out from underneath. He was able to take objective number 4 with his Autarch, but he wasn't able to get trophy. Or no, he got Trophy Hunter as well because I nominated objective number 1. So that was actually worth 2 points for him. Oh no, sorry, you didn't get objective number 1.
One's way in the back.
Yeah, sorry. So Trophy Hunter was objective number 3, and then he got objective number 4, and he failed to pull off Pain in all its forms and secure objective 1. Would you like to discard any of those? Maybe objective 1?
Good.
Oh, you're going to keep them? Alright, so let's go into Mech, turn 3. And at the start of my turn, I'll draw 2 new cards. Secure objective 1. and secure Objective 6. Objective 6 is firmly in control of the Dark Eldar at the moment, but Objective number 1 just so happens to be where my Rangers are sitting. And for my turn, I'm going to use the Doctrine Imperative to increase my Skitarii Ballistic skill by 3 and reduce weapon skill by 2. And I'll reuse Benediction of the Omniscience using my, basically my detachment's special ability. So re-rolling 1s and 2s in the shooting phase for my Cult Mechanicus. These Dragoons are going to move through difficult terrain. 6 inches, beautiful. So that will take him to there, just sneak him under there. And this fella is just going to hide out back just so he can have somebody else take some wounds first. The Castellan Maniple just going to move forward a little bit, put him out front, have the Data Smith hang out behind, and get into a good position to try and take out the jet bikes there. And let's see, my Ordo Malus Inquisitor with his Psi Cannon. What is he going to do? You know what? I'm going to break him off actually, just so he can shoot at his own stuff. Destroyer is just going to move forward 6 inches. And the Rangers are going to move back into terrain here. So about 4 inches, it's enough to get them back in there and make sure that anything charging them is going to go through difficult terrain, reducing any sort of initiative bonuses. The Breachers are going to move through difficult terrain 5 inches, and all they're going to do is just move over so they can fire at the Raider. Doomcrawler is going to move forward 6 inches and put himself into a charge solution with the Raider as well. That's going to take me to the end of my movement phase. Into the Psychic phase, 2 plus d6 for a total of 3. Moving over here, I'm going to spend 2 dice and attempt to prescience this squad, which will fail. And I'm now going to spend 1 die to get Force off, which will fail. Because, you know, my psychic abilities have been so awesome this game. And that will take us into the shooting phase. Going to start with a neutron laser into your Raider, right there. And this will be ballistic skill 7, so it's probably not going anywhere. Yeah, that's a direct hit. Are you jinking, by the way?
Definite jink.
Yeah, I think it just goes without saying that you'd be jinking. So this is going to be a strength 10, so it's automatically glancing. Actually, it's automatically penning. So just go ahead and roll your save here. Oh, so it's going to go through. So this is AP1, an open top, so +3 to whatever I roll here. And it will explode. Now, everything that's close enough to actually be hurt by strength, or to be hurt by the blast, is strength 4. Can't be actually hurt them. Oh, no, it can't touch the venom. But it will definitely cause a bunch of wounds to the guys inside. 8 guys inside, so wounding on 3s. Oh, that's not that bad. Only 3 wounds. And you do have your armor save against this, which I believe is a 5-up.
5-up, and I have full feel no pain now.
Beautiful.
5-up.
Oh, and 1 feel no pain. So only 1 guy goes down, so 7 will be placed, and there will be a pinning check to be made. Pinning check on Leadership 8. Oh, at least they're not pinned. These 3 Breachers, they were going to fire at that Raider, but that's not happening anymore. They're going to fire into this rear Venom now. They're just within range. And you're jinking?
I'm jinking.
So that's going to be a 3-up jink. I've just been informed it's actually going to be a 4-up jink because you don't have the Night Shields on these Venoms. So these are hitting on 4s, re-rolling... Wait, did I do Benediction? Yeah, I did Benediction of the Omniscience. So re-rolling 1s and 2s. So re-roll that 1. So that's going to be 5 hits. Anything but 1s. So 4 glancing hits.
4s?
4 glancing save, or cover save. That is enough to wreck the 1 Venom, unfortunately, leaving the guys to pile out of the wreck. I'll force a pinning check on these warriors. They're good. The Dragoons are going to run forward with Crusader. I'm going to get greedy. Oh, look at that, I got greedy. So instead I'm only going to run forward 6 inches instead of 7. So that will take them right to there. And get them through the difficult terrain. I'm going to fire my 2 Transuranic Arquebuses with Tank Hunter and Skyfire because of the objective into your Razor Wing. Would you like to jink?
I would like to jink.
You'd like to jink? Okay, so hitting on 2s. They both are going to hit. And this is going to be Armor Bane, so I believe they count as Strength 3 plus 2d6. Needing 7s to do anything against the Razor Wing. So first shot will glance. Second shot will do nothing. So that's 1 glance with a 4-up Jink save. Oh! He dinged the canopy and the pilot's going, what the hell was that?
It's time to fly off the table.
Castellan Manipul going to fire into the bikes. Would you like to Jink? This is AP3, remember?
Oh, yes.
So 3 shots. Going to do the twin-linked ones first. Good thing they're twin-linked. And this one, what do you think? Cocked or not?
That's good. It's 5.
That's good. So that's going to be 2 hits. And wounding on 2s. 2 wounds with a 4-up cover save. Yep, okay. Oh, and there go the bikes. The Ordo Malus Inquisitor is going to fire into the Raider, strength 7 side cannon with rending. Would you like to Jink?
Another Jink.
Okay, so hitting on 3s. All 4 are going to hit. 3s to glance. 1 glance, 2 pens, but you do have your 3-up Jink save against this. So the glance first. 1 is going to go through, and the 2 pens. Oh! It's going to take it out and open top. So is it going to explode? No explosion. So it's just going to wreck it, forcing everyone out and to take a pinning check. And are these guys now pinned?
No.
No, leadership 8, they're fine.
Sense.
Going to fire the plasma culverins now into this unit of warriors. So the first guy with 1 wound remaining, no gets hot. The second guy, 1 gets hot and he will take a wound. So only 3 shots going in. Going to place it right there, so direct hits will be hitting 6 of them. So first shot is going to scatter off 3 inches this way, so it's only going to hit 2. Second shot will be a direct hit, so we're up to 8. And the third shot is going to scatter 1 inch this way, so it's going to hit, it looks like 4. So it's going to be a total of 12 hits. Wounding on 2s. Oh, that's a good chunk of 1s there, but good chunk of wounds regardless. So 8 wounds. Now you currently have a 5-up cover save. If you go to ground, it will become a 4-up. Is that something you're going to do?
Let's go to ground.
Going to go to ground. Okay, so 4-up cover save. Oh, would you look at that? Only 2 are going to die. So bam, bam. Still enough to possibly make them run away, but actually if you run away, that might... No, either way you're going to be snapfiring. They're not Marines. So that is going to be a panic check on them, but still, good cover saves. Lastly, my Icarus Array is going to fire into this Venom right here. Going to start with the 5-shot Gatling missile launcher. These are hitting on 2s, rerolls on with a 6. So reroll, if I get a 6, it's going to hit. Nope. Actually, I think it was a 5 on Ballistic 7, but either way. And no bother declaring Jink yet, because this is the Ignores cover one. So 4 is to glance. And it is just toast. Wow.
It has 5-up invul, actually.
Oh, it does? Cool. So, involve the glance first, I guess?
Glances? Are these 3?
There's 3 pens and 1.
1 glance.
Yeah. 1 glance. Saved. And the pens. That is enough to take it out.
Still toast.
Is it enough to explode it? It is. So, how many inches? 3 inches, not enough to hit those warriors over there. And how many guys are inside?
5 guys in it.
So 5 guys inside, wounding on 3s. Oh, that's a whole lot of 1s. So only 1 wound that you do have a save for.
Feeling pain?
Yep. Oh,
Nope.
So 1 guy will go down. Only 20% casualties, so you should be good.
Yep. On a 1, it's the blaster guy.
Okay.
On a 6, I'll reroll it.
6, reroll. 5, so just a regular guy. And that will be 1 pinning check to be made. Do they get pinned? Nah. So nothing got pinned, so that's actually a good thing for you. So we're going to end the shooting phase at this point and go right into potential assault phases. Going to declare an assault with my Onager Doomcrawler here into your warriors. Anything that can stop it?
Nothing can overwatch.
All right, let's see how far it goes. 4 inches, actually, that might not make it. And looking at it, 4 is actually exactly what he needed because he does ignore difficult terrain as part of his rule. So he is able to make it in. That'll be 1 Hammer of Wrath attack. I'm going to re-roll that one. Nothing. So I will have 2 attacks at... I think you might have to pile in first because you're initiative 4.
I'm initiative. Yeah, 5 actually.
Oh, initiative 5. So yeah, you go ahead and pile on in.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's okay. He's not magnetized or anything like that. He just sits like that. So they all pile in, And then I'll get my 2 attacks against you, hitting on 4s. Oh wait, actually, yeah, hitting on 4s. And wounding on 2s. Nothing. And you have no attacks back. Tie combat. You can elect to try and run away if you like.
I'll stay with you.
You're going to stay and just lock them up? Alright, so that's that combat over here. And we're going to move into the more important one over here. Moving over here in the challenge, 4 attacks, weapon skill 5, hitting on 3s. 3 hits. And what's your strength?
4.
Okay, so wounded on 3s.
Poison 4s.
Oh, poison 4, okay.
With rend.
So 1 wound with a rend, so feel no pain, 6 up. Nope, that will be the alpha as he goes down. And now the big engine of destruction. 3 attacks, hitting on, what's your weapon skill?
Skill 4.
So hitting on 3s. 3 hits, wounding on 2s. 2 wounds, I'm going to look answer these. So he will have to take 1 of them. So he's got his 4-up invulnerable save from a conversion field, which he'll make. And then the look answer one will just be a, what's his strength 5?
5.
So feel no pain. And that will be 1 dead Skitari. The Inquisitor will now pile in and make his attacks. 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. So that's going to be 2 hits and no wounds. The Vanguard is up next. He will hit. And, actually, wait, no, he would have been moved down to toughness.
6 now, right?
Would have been down to toughness 6, yeah, so that 5 is still not wounding. Before I forget, I had an initiative 10 attack with the data spike. Let's just quickly do that. Hits. No wounds. Okay, because that never does anything. And the Force Axe will hit. What's your majority weapon skill? I needed
4 and
4s.
5.
Yeah, so I needed 4s. So 1 hit, and this is going to be strength 6, I believe.
So 4.
So 4 is the wound. That will wound, and it's going to be AP 2, so you have a feel no pain against this.
4 up, feel no pain.
And you made it. I'm thinking I got myself into a bad combat here, as I lose combat, but I am stubborn. So let's see what happens. They are going to stick around, as this combat is ongoing. At the end of my turn, I was able to secure Objective 1, as well as study the machines of the foe finally, with leaving me Objective 2 and Objective 6. I think I'm going to get rid of Objective 6. That will take us to the end of AdMech Turn 3. The current score is 9 points for the Dark Eldar and Eldar, 7 points for the AdMech. So we're going to see what happens as we go into Turn 4 for the AdMech. They are a little worse for wear, so we're going to see if they can maintain that lead. At the start of Sheldon's turn, he's just going to draw 1 card and get Take Them Alive. So 1 non-vehicle enemy unit completely destroyed during assault. Oh, and if an independent character was removed as a casualty, D3. This combat just became super important. In the movement phase, we're going to start with your Autarch, who can run really, really fast.
Moving through some cover.
So he's going to go 3 inches. Does he have fleet at all?
He does, but it doesn't work for move through cover.
Oh, that is very true. So he's just going to get 3 inches forward. Razor Wing, just going to fly off the table as it's taken a hull point. Get a bit of reprieve from shooting next turn. These warriors just going to move forward, staying out of difficult terrain, so they're not impeded. Mandrake's just going to reposition so they can get some shots in on the destroyers. These warriors just going to move forward, keeping them out of the difficult terrain, but hiding them behind a nice little wall there, so they still have their 5-up cover save if they need it. Scratch that, these guys actually went to ground, we just remembered, so they are stuck where they are. And these warriors will continue to hide out in this area terrain for their cover save. That will take us into the shooting phase, so we're going to see what they can muster in this turn 4. And Mr. Autarch is going to put on his speedy boots, and he's just going to run all the way across the table. We've already measured it, he has more than enough space to do it. And just contest objective number 1, because I am not objective secured. We're going to have a couple blasters fire from these 2 5-man squads. So blaster number 1 into the Sidonian Dragoons, hitting on a 3. That will hit, and this is strength 8?
Strength 8.
Okay, so needing a 3. Oh. Nothing. And the other group firing their blaster will miss. That's unfortunate. Mandrake's going to fire their shots into the destroyers. Strength 4, AP 4, so they are going to ignore their armor saves. And ballistic skill 4?
Ballistic skill 4.
On 3s. Okay, so that's 4 hits, and wounding on 5s. That is enough. So 2 dead destroyers. Oh, okay, you're going to give me that 5-up cover save? Alright. Aren't you kind? Oh, see, that's why you don't be kind here, because then somebody turns around and they roll a bunch of 6s. So they will actually survive then. And what was the noise? Womp womp. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But that's what you get for generosity, I suppose. And some snap-firing splinter rounds from the warriors into the 2 destroyers there. Gonna see if they can take them out. So 7 shots total. 1 was in rapid fire. So on 6s. 2 hits. Alright. And wounding on 4s.
Nope.
No wounds though. Then I'm gonna fire into the destroyers with its 12 shots, hopefully taking them out. So hitting on 3s. Well, that could have been a little bit better, but not terrible. Hitting 4s to wound. Oh, well, you know what? With a 4-up cover save, I don't know if I can make all these, or armor save rather. So let's just see what happens. And that is enough to take them out legitimately this time. So away they go. And that will bring us to the end of the shooting phase. So we have one very unimportant assault going on and one rather important assault now that could potentially be worth D3 points, plus a warlord kill. So let's see what happens. Starting with the unimportant assault going on here. Hitting on something. Not that though, because my weapon skill is terrible. So no hits, no wounds, nothing. That combat is ongoing.
Your data spike first.
So moving into this combat. So before anything, you're active player. Would you like to issue a challenge?
Oh yeah, let's challenge this out.
All right, my Inquisitor will take the challenge. Oh, actually no. My Dominus will take the challenge because that gets him out of the AP2 striking range of your monstrous creature there. My Inquisitor can go bite it by the Talos engine, I guess, or not the Talos,
Cronus.
The Cronus engine. So I will take that challenge. I'm now gonna data spike you, which will hit. No wound though. I don't think I've ever actually wounded with a data spike.
Skill 5.
4 attacks back, hitting on 3s. 3 hits. And what's your strength?
It's 4 poisons.
That's right. It's always poison. I gotta remember poison.
With Renzo.
So on 4s. So 2 wounds, 2 up armor saves, which I'll make them both. Cronus engine is up next. 3 attacks. Bring on the pain. So 2 hits. Wounding on 2s. 2 wounds. The Inquisitor is going to try and look after this. He sure will. So that's going to be strength 5, correct?
Strength 5.
Feel no pains. So that is 1 dead Vanguard, thus removing the final Vanguard from this unit. That is a dead unit, so that is going to be at least 1 point. Now, depending on how the rest of this combat goes, he could still eke out another point. Inquisitor is up next. 4 attacks going into the pain engine. That's going to be, what's his weapon skill? 4. So that's going to be 2 hits. And 1 wound. Take that. So feel no pain.
Sword.
It is.
So feel no pain. 4 up.
Hey! Wound goes through.
Ones.
Oh, that's right. Hey! It still goes through. My Inquisitor feels like a big man right now. That's about all he's done this game. He's done 1 wound. And last up, the Power Axe from my Dominus. Finally, he gets a solid hit in there. And he rolls a 1 to wound. So, we have just tied combat. You did 1 wound, I did 1 wound. This combat will be ongoing. But at this point, importantly, the Cronus now has It Will Not Die. And apparently it will not die as it regains a wound. At the end of the turn, Sheldon was able to get 2 more points simply by taking out the Vanguard, which is actually kind of important because that puts him up to 11 points, I believe, to my 7. So I have a lot of ground to catch up here as we go into Admech, turn 4. At the start of my turn 4, I do draw 2 more objectives. I got Overwhelming Firepower and Networked Archaeotech. So for Networked Archaeotech, I roll 2d6, and those are the objectives I have to go to. If I control one of them, I get 1 point. If I control both, I get d3, and I reroll doubles. So 5 and 6. So naturally, I have to go across the table for most of these. So there's 6 over there, and 5 happens to be over there. And at the beginning of my turn, I'll use my Benediction, or Chant of the Remorseless Fist, so I'll be rerolling 1s in the combat phase. So that's important over here. And I will use the Doctrine Imperative to increase my ballistic skill by 2 and reduce my weapon skill by 1. These Dragoons are just going to move right up to the edge of the terrain here. Actually, just move over like that, just so I can avoid it as best I can when I charge in. These breachers are going to try and go over and take objective 5 and get 5 inches of movement. And 5 inches is enough to put them within 3 inches to control the objective. The Ranger squad's going to move through difficult terrain. They actually have moved through cover, and they're going to get 6 inches. And they're just going to play a wonderful game of Shoot the Autarch. It is a lovely game, one which they want to play greatly. Not enough to get them all into shooting a firing solution, but enough. This guy can see the venom, so he's going to use his skyfiring ability to try and take him out. Hopefully finally get rid of that last annoyance. The Ordo Malus Inquisitor will move forward 6 inches, and the Castellan will move forward 6 inches. Just trying to get nice and close to try and finish some of these guys off. That's going to take us into the Psychic phase. So once again, 2 plus D6. Maybe I'll roll something better than a 1. 5. So all of 7, and Sheldon will have 5. Going to throw 4 dice at prescience onto this unit here and hope for the best.
No.
Nope. My psychic abilities have just been really lackluster this game. And I'll throw 3 dice at casting prescience on this Inquisitor to try and twin link his Psy Cannon. Nope, that one will fail as well. This game is just not meant for psychers. That's going to take us into the shooting phase. Into the shooting phase, 6 galvanic rifles going to fire into Captain Hasty Boots there, the Autarch. These are going to be hitting on 2s. So good chunk of hits there. Bunch of precision shots. I'm going to put them all into your Hasty Boots. Wounding on 3s. That's a bunch of 4-up invulnerable saves that need to be made. How many of these can you make? Not enough, unless he's 4 wounds.
He's 3 wounds. Just enough to kill him again.
That's the second time you've done that. But you know what? That is enough to take out the Autarch, even if just barely. Side cannon from the Ordo Malus Inquisitor is going to go into this unit of warriors, hitting on 3s. Cocked or not? What do you think?
Yeah.
Cocked? Okay. There we go. So 3 hits, and they're going to be wounding on 2s. So that's going to be 3 cover saves. So you have your 5-up cover save, or if you go to ground, 4-up. What would you like to do?
Just take 5 up.
Just takes 5 up? Alright. And 2 more go down. Castellan Maniple going to fire into the same unit, starting with the twin-linked shots. Hitting on 3s, or sorry, 4s, twin-linked. So that's going to be 2 hits. And only 1 wound. So there you go. So 5-up cover save again?
5 up. Nope.
And that's going to take another one down. Also reducing the cover save by 1. 3 more shots, non-twin linked, will result in 1 hit. No wound, but that is still enough to force a panic check. The Icarus Array is going to look at this last remaining Venom and try and take it down. Starting with the Gatling Missile Launcher. These are hitting on 2s. 4 hits, and going to be glancing on 4s. 1 glance, 1 pen, so that is enough to take it down. Let's see if it... Oh, you have invulnerable?
Yep.
Okay.
Field.
So, invulnerable save. So, do the glance first.
Glance first.
Nope, and the pen? No. So, does it explode? It does not explode at the very least. So, everyone inside just gets out and takes a pinning check. Last bit of shooting, 3 Phosphor Serpenta shots into this unit of warriors. And that's going to be 1 hit, 1 wound. So you have your 5-up cover save, and you're good.
They're both 1s.
Just realized I was actually holding the targeting relay there, so those 1s I actually got to reroll for 2 more hits and 2 more wounds. Doesn't matter. That's what happens when we forget things. The dice just say, nope, moving on. That'll take us to the end of the shooting phase. We got a couple morale checks, or pinning checks, sorry, over here.
On 9.
You're fine. And we have to see if these guys run away.
On 8.
They are good as well. And that will take us into the assault phase. I have 1 assault to declare, which is right over here. Your fusion blaster can...
1 blaster.
Alright, let's see it. On a 6. 6? No, that's a 4. So they're going to charge in. So it's looking like about a 3-inch charge. 5 plus for difficult terrain. Well,
11.
So 11 plus 3, that is definitely enough to get them all into combat there. But only 2 Hammer of Wrath. Hammer of Wrath, that's strength 5. 2 wounds with your armor save.
5-up armor.
Nope, 2.
5-up Fiona.
Oh, that's right, you got that. So only 1 will go down. On the charge, have 12 attacks. These are hitting on... Oh, weapon skill -1, so I'm hitting on 4s. You'll be hitting back on 3. Well, you can't actually hurt me, I guess. And these are strength 8. So let's see what happens. So that's a good chunk of hits. The 6s I rolled will give 4 additional hits on top of that. So as long as I don't roll a whole bunch of 1s here, not a single one. So that's going to be, it looks like 10 wounds. 5 up armor save. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is enough to take him down. Strength 8, so no feel no pain. And they will consolidate 3 inches. Just going to start getting a little bit closer to this other unit kicking around. This Iron Onager Doomcrawler, there we go, is going to do his attack in. It will hit. And that's cocked?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cocked. 1 wound. So strength 5. You have your armor save against this, though?
Armor save.
Hey! Oh, feel no pain. That's right.
Pain.
And this combat will persist. And on to the really important combat here. This one is worth so many points for both of us. So start with the challenge. You have your 4 attacks. You're hitting on 4s. Oh, your weapon skill 5. That's right. So hitting on 3s. 2 hits. And wounding on 4s. Finally remembered poison. Oh, no. Oh, and I just remembered my data spike, which would hit. No wound. And before we forget, we probably should have been doing fear checks on this. Both of us actually been forgetting, but I just remembered this turn. Okay, so it's not going to matter this turn. Moving on to the Kronos with his 3 attacks. And it's going to hit twice. And wounding on 2s. 1 wound, and your strength 5, correct? And he's just going to take a wound. He's got no power armor. Well, it doesn't matter. No invulnerable saves. No feel no pain. But thankfully, he's not double tapped out. Inquisitor attacking back at the Talos, or at the Kronos, sorry. 1 hit. No wounds. But you know what? We kind of expected that from him anyway. He doesn't do much of anything. Followed by the Tech Priest Dominus. 2 attacks. Rerolling 1s. So of course I roll 3s, and I fail to do anything. So I actually lose combat by 1 here. Stubborn, thankfully. And it is ongoing. At the end of my turn, I was able to get overwhelming firepower. I got half of networked Archaeotech, and I actually happened to take objective number 2. So it was a good turn for me, putting me up to 10 points. Scratch that, actually 11 points. That means at the end of turn 4 for the Admech, the game is actually tied 11-11. Now, the Dark Eldar are definitely in a rough position. They don't have a whole lot left to sort of fight back with. But you know what? That 1 combat is still potentially worth 4 points, I think. It's worth a lot of points anyway. Well, no, at the very least it's worth 1 point. Never mind. It's worth 1 point, but you know, that could be all you need as we go into this next turn. At the start of Sheldon's turn 5, he's going to draw a single card, unfortunately, because he's still sitting on objective 1. And he'll get Death by 1,000 Cuts. At the beginning of the turn, the Razor Wing comes on from ongoing reserve. The Onager Doomcrawler can still see it, so it still has something to intercept, but the important thing is you're going to have a natural 4-up cover save for this one, so you're not going to have to jink. So if you are able to survive, then you're still going to be able to fire at full ballistic.
Let's bridge.
So these warriors just going to move forward a little bit and squeeze on a line breaker if they can survive. The Lemaine is just going to hide. Andrake's going to move through the terrain for a total of 5 inches. That should be enough to clear most of the goo, but you're still going to be stuck in it for a turn. These warriors just going to back away from the Dragoons. Try to be unnoticed by them. That's going to take us to the end of the movement phase, so not a lot left going on. We're going to see what sort of shooting they can bring to bear. But before we do that, we do have the Interceptor shots from the Icarus Array. Basically, its last little bit of efficiency this game. Let's see what he can do. Starting with the Daedalus Missile Launcher, 5 shots. Going to be hitting on 2s, actually, because of the Doctrine Imperative. So 2 misses. The ballistic skill 6. So that's a reroll on a 6, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, reroll on a 6. So 3 hits. Looking for 4s to glance. 1 pen. And because it is ignoring cover, it just goes right through. So let's find out what happens to it. 6! Immobilized.
All right.
So on a 1 or 2, it crashes and burn. Anything else, it's locked velocity. Locked velocity. Icarus autocannon going into it now, twin linked. And that's going to be 2 hits, needing 3s to glance. 2 penetrating hits, 2 4-up cover saves against this. And that is going to be enough to take out its final hull point. And yeah, it's not an AP2 or 1 or anything like that, so no explosions or crashing and burn. Well, I guess I could crash and burn. No crash and burn. So it is simply destroyed. Moving into the shooting phase proper, Mandrake's going to try and fire into the Ordo Malice Demon Hunter. He senses the Inquisitor there, and they want him dead. So 6 shots, hitting on 3s. That'll be 4 hits. Strength 4, so wounding on 3s.
Oh.
1 wound with a 2-up armor save, which he'll make. 3 shots from the Warriors, again into the Inquisitor. Going to try and take him out. So that's going to be 3 hits, wounding on 4s. 1 wound with a 2-up save. He'll make it. These Warriors going to fire into the Inquisitor as well. Going to start with the Fusion Blaster. On a 3. That will hit. Will it wound? On a 2. Oh! No wound. But you still have 4 more shots coming in. Do you have any in rapid fire?
I need to check.
So none within rapid fire, so only 4 shots hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 4s. 1 wound, 2-up save. And he'll make it. That will take us to the end of the shooting phase. No assaults to declare, it looks like. So we just have this 2 ongoing combats. So let's get the less ridiculous of the 2 done first, and then we'll move on to the more ridiculous. So 1 attack, which will fail to hit, and you're just going to keep locking him in combat?
Keep standing there.
Alright, so that is that combat. Moving on to this combat here, we will start with my Initiative 10 Data Spike, which will fail to hit, but I do have my Canticle going, so reroll the 1s, and it will still fail to hit.
Fear test.
Oh, and a fear check as well, that's right. We're good. And now we'll move on to the challenge itself. So your Homunculus will attack in with 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. 3 hits, wounding on 4s. 1 wound with a 2-up save, which he'll make. 3 attacks from the Kronos, hitting on 3s, I think. No, what's your one? So hitting on 4s then. So 1 hit, wounding on a 2. And once again, I have nothing, so he's just going to lose another wound. Inquisitor is going to fight back. His 4 attacks, hitting on 4s, 2 hits, wounding on 6s. No wounds. And then the Tech Priest Dominus, hitting on 4. Hey, he hits! Alright. And wounding on 2s. Take that! 2 wounds. But you do have your Feel No Pain.
4-up, rerolling 1s.
And this combat will very likely be ongoing as I have to make a morale check with Stubborn. Hey, look at that. Gonna stick around. This combat continues on. It will not die though. Let's see if the Kronos gets his wound back. It does not. At the end of the turn, no objectives were scored. So, right now, Sheldon is remaining at 11 points, possibly 12 if the game ends at the end of this turn and he hits Line Breaker. So let's go into Admech, turn 5, and see what they do. Drawing 2 cards, get Hold the Line, and Behind Enemy Lines. At the start of my turn, I'm also going to use the Canticle for Machine Might. So that is actually going to increase my strength a little. Is that really worth it? I don't think that's actually worth it. No, I'm not going to use Machine Might. I'm actually going to use... I'm going to use Litany of the Electromancer instead. So that'll just be a free hit on the that combat over there. And no Doctrine Imperative will be used this turn. Inquisitor is just going to move back a couple inches just so he can be part of holding the line. And this Dunecrawler is just going to move back a little bit so it can also be part of holding the line. The Castellan Maniple going to move through difficult terrain for a total of 6 inches. Just going to get him forward a little bit. Sidonian Dragoons going to move through difficult terrain 6 inches, and they're just going to get back there to try and get behind enemy lines. Breacher's going to move through difficult terrain, total of 4 inches, and they're actually just going to try and jump into this combat to give some more Blade of Wounds for the Kronos to go through. That will take us to the end of my movement phase. So we're going to jump into the Psychic phase. So once again, 2 plus D6. So for a total of 5 and 3. I'm going to throw 5 dice at Prescience, because I really want to get a Psychic power off once this game. Hey, I got it with 3.
So you're going to stop it with 3. Nope.
Prescience goes off, re-rolling all the hits over here. Moving into the shooting phase proper, the Castellan Manpole is going to fire into those units of warriors. 3 twin link shots. All 3 are going to hit. Wounding on 2s. 2 wounds, but you do have your 5 up cover save, 4 up if you go to ground. What would you like to do?
We're going to go to ground.
So 4 up cover save. Oh, 2 will go down. Next up we have the non-twin link shots. So 1 hit, 1 wound, and now it is a 5 up cover save, which you'll make.
Good.
3 Phosphorus Serpentis shots into that unit as well. That will be 3 hits. And yeah, strength 5, so 3 wounds. So you have your 5 up cover save against this.
And 5 up, feel no pain.
Okay, and your feel no pain. And the blaster goes down. Side cannon into the remaining warriors right here. That's going to be 4 hits. And 3 wounds. So they have a 5 up cover save, 4 up if they go to ground. Gonna go to ground?
We're going to go to ground. We need that line breaker.
Alright. So, okay, so only 1 goes down. Closest to would be there, but you might still line breaker, I'm not entirely sure. 2 Transuranic Arquebuses, gonna fire all the way across and try and take out these 2 remaining warriors. Both are gonna hit, wounding on 4s. So 1 wound, so you have your cover save. It is gonna be, so let's see, you're underground, but Luminogen reduces it to 5. I have an Omnispecs in that unit, so it's gonna be a 6 up cover save. With a feel no pain. Hey! No pain has been felt, so they are still standing and fearless, so no running away either. That's going to take us to the end of the shooting phase, because I have nothing to run, no assaults that I want to declare, because I want to get the point for hold the line here, or behind enemy lines. So, into the assault phase. So, I have 1 assault to declare right here, and they are going to, look at that, they're going to make it in. So, bam, bam, bam. Now a blade of wounds. Let's do this combat first. So 1 attack, which will miss. And you're fearless, so you can no longer opt to run away. Moving on to this combat. So we're going to start with the challenge, or the data spike actually, at initiative 10. So that's going to hit. No wound. And now we have Litany of the Electromancer. I now have actually 3 guys in base contact. So that's going to be 3 strength 4 hits. Against majority toughness 7, so that's going to be 1 wound. So you have your 3 up armor save, which you're fine. And we have a fear check that needs to be made as well, which we're fine. To the challenge, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, so 3 hits, wounding on 4s, 2 wounds, 2 saves. Moving on to the Kronos, he's going to focus on the Inquisitor, so 3 attacks, sorry. And that's going to be 2 hits, wounding on 2s. Look at that, the Inquisitor finally dies. At this point, I'm not entirely sure if that excess wound gets bled over into the Dominus or into the Breachers. For the sake of this game, I think we're going to say it's the Dominus. Which, you want to dice it off?
Let's just roll it off.
Alright, 4+, it's the Dominus. Dominus it is. So he would get his feel no pain against that wound that goes through?
Field.
In the conversion field. So, 4 up conversion field. Oh, okay. And that, I think, actually might cause a blind check as well.
Fails it.
So that will be a blind check. So 6 will fail it. You're fine. And now my Breachers. They are also good. Breachers are up next. They're just going to continue to pile in a little bit. There we go. So with the Arc Claws, I'm Strength 6, AP 5. So hitting on 4s. That's going to be 2 hits. And wounding on your toughness 6, right?
Toughness 7.
Toughness 7, so wounding on 5s. Cocked or not?
We'll call it a 6.
We'll call it a 6, okay. So 3 up save. And you're fine. And we move into the other combat. My Tech Priest Dominus will hit once. And will wound. So you have your
4 up, feel no pain, and
rerolling ones, okay. Hey, a wound goes through. So how many does he have?
He's got 3, so he's down to 2 now.
So 2 wounds remaining.
And before I even get the counter, that's your turn, so I don't get who will not dies.
Okay. And that will also be a draw combat. And Sheldon just reminded me, I actually had prescient, so I have to re-roll some to hits here. So I believe there was 4 misses on the Breachers, which we'll quickly roll. So still nothing. And re-roll that 1 miss on the Tech Priest, which will still miss. Once again, the dice have decided if we miss it, it doesn't count. That will take us to the end of turn 5. So I was able to get behind enemy lines with my Sidonian Dragoons, as well as getting hold the line with my Inquisitor and Doomcrawler and Vanguard Rangers over here. So that's going to give me 2 more points, putting me at a total of 13 to 11. And with the end of turn 5, we have to see if the game will continue. So let's grab a die and find out. Does the game go to turn 6? It does. All right. So 1 objective apiece, and we're going to see what happens. So Sheldon is still sitting on death by 1,000 cuts, so no cards are being drawn on turn 6. Starting with the movement phase, these warriors are going to move through difficult terrain. 4 inches, that's enough to get them into cover, and within double tap range of the Inquisitor. Mandrake's going to move through difficult terrain as well. 6 inches, so they're getting nice and close. And these warriors are just going to stay still so they can double tap into the Castellan. Starting with these warriors into the Castellan mana pool. 4 shots hitting on 3s. All are going to hit and wounding on 4s. So go ahead and roll those. 2 wounds. All right, let's see what happens here. 3 up save. I'll make them both. These 2 warriors are going to double tap into the Ordo Malus Inquisitor. 4 shots on 3s. 1 hit. No wound. And might as well jump right into the Mandrakes.
Yep.
So there's going to be 6 shots hitting on 3s. 4, 5 hits. And these ones are strength what again?
Strength 4.
Strength 4, so wounding on 3s. So 3 wounds with a 2-up armor save. And all 3 are successful. And that will take us into the assault phase. So first things first, this silly combat. Hey, look at that, I hit for once. No wound! This is getting a little ridiculous, isn't it?
It's taking forever.
Just a little bit. And over here, we have a bunch of things at the start of the phase. So first off, Fear Test, which I'll pass. Next up, I have Litanies of the Electromancer, so 4 strength, 4 hits. And no wounds. And lastly, I have my Data Spike into the challenge, which will fail to hit. Wait, is Prescience still on? Yeah, Prescience is still on. Awesome. Which will still fail to hit. Starting with the challenge, 4 attacks hitting on 3s. So 3 hits and wounding on 4s.
Right, we need some Rens here, is what we need. Nope.
So 2 wounds, 2 up save. And I will make both of those. So now, I'm going to attack into the Breacher squad. Bring it. So that's going to be 3 hits. Definitely 3 hits. And strength 5. So on 4s. 2 wounds. So I will just lose a Breacher.
Just 1. 4, right? We need 5s.
Oh, did you roll it?
I only rolled 1. I'm strength 5, your toughness 5, right?
Toughness 5.
Yep, so it's only 1.
Oh, did you roll 3 and a 4?
Yep.
Oh, apparently my eyes deceive me. So only 1 wound on a Breacher. Breacher is going to strike back. They will actually all hit. Wow, okay. And on, what's your toughness again? 7. So on 5s. Ooh. 2 wounds, 3 up save. And I feel no pain. Oh, no wound is dealt. And now we're into the Tech Priest Dominus with his 2 attacks. Reroll that for Prescience. So only 1 hit. 1 wound though. So feel no pain. Oh, he felt that one.
Down to 1.
So he's down to 1 wound left. Alright, and draw combat. And we forgot to do some charges over here. We're going to let him do it just because it's going to be fun. What's charge? I guess just the Mandrakes.
Yep.
So Mandrake's going to charge in. I will overwatch with my Psy Cannon. And get 1 hit. And no wound. 8-inch charge with Fleet. Just reroll that 1. There we go. So they are going to make it in. So wham bam. At the start of the combat, we're going to have 15 attacks from the Mandrakes at strength 5 for Furious Charge. Go for it. Hitting on, what's your weapon skill? So hitting on 4s, so not bad. Good chunk of hits in there. Enough that it might cause some wounds through attrition. Wounding on 3s. 2 up armor save. And we'll make all 5. And the Inquisitor will then attack back with his Nemesis Demon Hammer. So hitting on 4s. 1 hit. And 1 invulnerable save incoming. No invulnerable save?
6 up. 6 up armor save.
Oh, that's it. Only. Oh, not even invulnerable. Oh, geez. Okay, I thought they were full-on demons in that regard.
Nope.
So, are they fearless?
They are fearless now.
Okay, at least you're fearless. So that will end combat. Well, not end combat, but keep combat ongoing. At the end of the turn, we do have an It Will Not Die on the Talos. Or, sorry, the Chronos.
Yee. And the Homunculus, no.
Oh, they both have it?
They both do.
So the Chronos is back up to full, correct?
Back up to full.
So 3 wounds left. That'll take us to the end of Dark Eldar turn 6. No objectives have been earned. Would you like to throw away the one you have?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, he's going to throw that away. And if we go to turn 7, hope for something better. As we go into Mech, turn 6. At the start of my turn, I'll draw 1 card. Get secure objective 5. And during my start of my turn, no Doctrine Imperative, and I'll use Invocation of Machine Might, so +1 strength for all my Cult Mechanicus units. Over here, the Castellan Maniple is going to move through difficult terrain. 5 inches, just keep getting a little bit closer to those warriors. Sidonian Dragoons moving through terrain, or difficult terrain, 4 inches, +3 for Dune Strider. Putting them 7 inches right to there. Gonna get in there and hopefully help that Dune Crawler. This Dune Crawler is just going to move back into a position where he can see something to snap fire at. So probably looking just through that window at the warriors. And these Rangers are happy where they are. Psychic Phase, D6 +1 for a total of 6. Gonna throw 4 dice at Prescience. Hey, look at that, goes off with 3 successes. Would you like to try and deny it with your 5 dice?
Let's try it.
Alright, go for it.
5?
Yeah, 5 dice.
Hey, got 2.
Almost denied, but not quite. So Prescience is on the Demon Hunter. 3 shots going into those warriors from the Castellan Maniple. Twin linked ones, so 1 hit so far. 3 hits. And 2 wounds. So at this point, there's not a lot of cover behind between the two of us. So you can go to ground for a 6-up or...
Fearless.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're fearless. So they're just kind of dead. Away they go. This Onager Dune Crawler is going to snap fire into the unit of warriors here, starting with the Gatling Missile Launcher. No hits. Twin linked autocannons. 1 hit so far. Just 1 hit. No wound. And then the big missile. Nothing. And I actually have no other things that have valid targets for shooting. So we're going to jump into the assault phase. I have 1 assault to declare. The Iron Striders are going to try and charge in and help out this unit. So going through difficult terrain. So 7 up to 10, down to 8. So they are in. 2 Hammer Wraths. And the one last guy just coming in from behind. Start with this one over here. We'll start with the Hammer of Wrath. 2 wounds, so 2 armor saves.
2 5s.
Okay.
Nice.
And now we'll go into the actual attack. So 12 attacks coming in at strength 8. Hitting on, what's your weapon skill? 4?
4.
So hitting on 4s. Wow. Not a lot of hits, but where I did hit, there was a lot of 6s. So those are actually going to add 2 additional attack hits apiece. For a total of a lot. Total of 10, actually. Moving on 2s. That'll be 8 wounds. 5 up armor save. So 1, 2, 3, 4 go down, leaving 3 remaining. And the Doom Crawler will fail to hit. But, oh wait, you're fearless now.
Yep.
So combat is ongoing. 2 Mandrakes attacking in, 6 attacks hitting on 4s. 2 hits, wounding on, what's their strength?
Strength 4.
So on 3s. 1 wound, which I'll make the save, and he'll smack back with his hammer with Prescience, so reroll those misses. 2 hits, and 2 wounds. So the Mandrakes go down, allowing him to consolidate 4 inches. Just going to start going after the warriors. And on to this combat. So at initiative 10, first things first, we have... you know what? Every turn I've been forgetting in my shooting phase to regain a wound on my... nah, that's okay. It could make a big difference, and I don't want it to make a big difference. Fear check. I'm not scared. Data spike. I'm not hitting you either. So now the challenge, you will attack first with your 4 attacks.
Here we go.
4 hits. Okay. And wounding on 4s.
Still no rends.
So 2 wounds, 2 saves. Cronus into the Breachers. That's going to be 2 hits. Nope, 3 hits, sorry. Because they're weapon skill 3. So 3 hits. And...
5.
Okay, so 3 wounds. So dead and 1 down to a wound. 2 attacks back from the Breachers. They will fail to hit. And now into this ongoing challenge. Maybe I can finally do something here. 2 hits. 2 wounds. Okay, this is it. 4 up invulnerable. No! He goes... Well,
Rerolling
he
once.
only had 1 wound left, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He only had 1 wound left. So this combat, at least that particular part of it, the Warlord goes down, granting the Admech Warlord kill. I'm still lost combat, though. I have still lost combat. So let's see if the Dominus breaks. The Dominus is actually fine, but just barely. And let's see if the Breachers break. Actually, the Breachers might be okay. Just a quick note, that other Breacher should be dead, so I should have actually had 1 attack back, but I did nothing against the Chronos, so no harm, no foul. And the remaining Breacher is fine and sticking around in combat, so he'll just jump into base. And that will take us to the end of... Was this an Admech? Yeah, this was an Admech turn, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. That will take us to the end of Admech turn 6. So the only objective I was trying to grab was objective 5, which happens to be over there, which I did not get. But I was able to take out the Warlord. And this will possibly bring us into turn 7. Or, what do you think? Should we roll? Yeah, let's roll. Let's let the dice decide. Does it go into turn 7? Okay. Turn 7 it is. So let's see what we can do in the final turn for the Dark Eldar. After the two of us talking it through and checking out what the next objective is, Sheldon and I have decided it might be time just to call it, because there's not a lot left for the Dark Eldar here, and it's really just going to put him through the paces. So it will be an Admech victory. Sheldon, good game.
Good game.
Yeah,
Last.
that was there were some really wonky things there. So it was definitely a lot of fun. Interesting playing the Eldar. Admech actually held up a lot better against them than I anticipated, or at least the Dark Eldar. And I think this is actually my first win against Dark Eldar as well, so kind of a moment for me. So, as always, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, we're going to do a quick post-game discussion, so you can go ahead and click the link below to check that out. If you're a Vault member, it's going to take you right there. If you're not a Vault member, it'll take you to a 7-day free trial. Check it out. There's lots of content kicking around there. We love to see you stick around, because we're always putting out new content for everyone in the Vault. As well as some free stuff, but a lot of Vault content, so hopefully we see you stick around. And of course, there's always a paired video for everything, so you can go ahead and hit the link below for that one as well. That'll take you to the paired video for this. As always, guys, happy wargaming.